Hi there, everybody. Becky Amble here with an AI tip for you today. And I have got joining me Debbie Marshall, who is going to share a little bit about what her experience has been. So, Debbie, thank you for being here today and participating in this. First, why don't you just tell us a little bit about what you do?
Thank you, Becky, for asking me. I am somewhat of a newbie in AI, as a lot of us are. I am a career coach. I help primarily people in the job market. That is the my niche. I do everything from write resumes and cover letters and do LinkedIn profiles. I do interview coaching. I do some assessments and career transition coaching. But right now, the job market is such that most of my clients get packages. They need help in all those areas. So I stay with my clients for quite a while and help them through every step of the process.
Well, that sounds great. And you probably work remotely then with clients that are all over?
Yes, I do. I have clients all across the country, which is
Awesome.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. And things have changed that we can actually do that. I want to ask you just a little bit about how did you first learn about AI? How did you get started?
Well, I get morning newsletters, Fast Company and Morning Brew and several others. And so I've been reading about it for years, obviously. But it's just been in the last year or two that it's just become so prevalent in the job search for recruiters, for career coaches, for the people doing the searching. But I belong to two career coaching associations, Park Professional Association of Resume Writers and Career Coaches and Career Directors International. They both started talking a lot about this and offering courses in AI and how the career coaches are using AI to help them help their clients. And so I started a few months ago, well, probably a little longer than a few months ago, probably 6 months ago, taking these courses. And I have just learned so much and slowly started incorporating these practices into my coaching practice. And it has been just extremely eye-opening how
Yeah,
much of a help it can be and the benefits that my clients are receiving. And I believe it's just really the tip of the iceberg of what I can do.
that's amazing. And maybe we can have you tell a little bit of story. Before that, I was just kind of curious, which AI tools are you using now that you found to be useful?
I primarily use Chat GPT. And I do have Claude, but I like Chat better.
Okay, yeah, I use chat a lot because it's been there. The thing I like about ChatGPT is it seems to be a little bit more straightforward. And Claude sometimes gets a little verbose, although Claude is the best writer and Claude has some superior functions depending on what we want to do. Why don't you tell us just maybe even two or three examples of how you are using AI and how you've seen that benefit, not just your practice, your clients?
Well, the first time I decided to use Chat GPT is when I wanted to drop a chart into a one sheet for a client. And I didn't want to go back to Excel. I haven't used Excel since my corporate days to build a chart. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to try it out. And so I gave Chat the specs, and it took me two or three times, but ultimately 5 to 10 minutes to get this beautiful chart. Would have taken me probably 2 hours to do it on my own with a lot of frustration. And it was at that moment that I just kind of fell in love with, oh my gosh, this is really, really powerful. So that's really when I decided I'm really going to dig in and learn what chat can do for me.
Great.
So another example is I have a client that I've been doing some career coaching with. We've gone through assessments, we've gone through the one-on-one coaching, and he came out of that with a couple different career directions he wanted to explore, but wasn't sure which path he wanted to take. So I used chat to create transition plans that included how long it would take him to make this transition, including the courses and education he would need to get to make it, the potential income he would have right away and then within 3 to 5 years. Also, it gave us whether these industries were on the upswing, what the potential jobs would be like down the road, whether it was on the incline or the decline. And it just mapped it all out step by step for him, something I would have had to do manually, including the research. Now, it's not like writing. There was no value add to having me do this for the client. And it did it in minutes. Of course, I went in and I validated some of that information. You never can just take it for granted that chat is always right. But knowing my area and the education that's needed in these fields, which I was already somewhat familiar with, it looked spot on to me. And it just saved me so much time.
That's excellent. While we're on that, I wonder if you can estimate how much time that did save you, because I can imagine that you could invest hours if you had to do it manually.
It probably saved me at least 4 hours, at least, maybe even more.
Great. And it's interesting you brought up a point. I a lot of times tell people, at least when they're getting started, use ChatGPT for something you already know, because then you can be your own fact checker. And what
Mhm.
you're going to have it do maybe is be more thorough, get other things, get examples, something. And it just makes it more efficient. And you still know enough because it's your area of expertise that you can look at it and go, yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, a little bit off here, or whatever it might be. So I love how you did that. Do you have one more idea you want to share with us?
Yes, I have a client that is transitioning out of an industry. He's been in this industry his whole career, and it's very specific. And so all of his content is just specific to this industry. And so I was really struggling with how to take all these specific examples for these products that he worked on and make them more generic to any industry. And so chat really helped me with that, transitioning all that language to make it more broad and generic. And that saved me hours of work as well.
Well, Debbie, I think you have found some fabulous use cases, and I know you do use artificial intelligence for even more. Sure sounds to me like that allows you to be more efficient because you're saving time. You're probably able to work with more clients, and you're bringing them incredible value because of your expertise and then having AI as your assistant. I think I find it fascinating, and I really applaud you for doing this because I'm sure it's just making you more valuable to all your clients as well. Do you feel
I
like
think
that as well?
I do. I think it makes me better. It doesn't, I don't have it do the original writing. I don't think it replaces what we do. I think it enhances what we do. It's another tool that just makes what we do better. And there are warnings. It gets things wrong. You have to validate. You have to fact check. I've put information in and had it. Sometimes it just gets hung up on words. I've put in information and said, enhance this content for me, and it will get hung up on a word and populate it multiple times, and it's the wrong word. And so if you don't look at it, you could give it back to your client and it could be completely wrong. And I've had clients come to me with resumes to redo them and say, I had somebody write this for me, and I don't even recognize a few of these bullets. I didn't do these things. I'm not skilled in that area. And you can just tell that whoever wrote it had ChatGPT or somebody write it and didn't really fact check it against their original information. So you can't ever count on it to be 100% correct. You still have to do your own work.
Yeah, that's a great point. Well, Debbie, thank you so much for sharing your AI experience with us. It sounds to me like you have learned a lot, and you've learned some key things that are making you even better at your job and more efficient. And I think that's where we can actually find magic in AI. If there is any magic, is figuring out how to make it use better for us. And you've been so astute to do your fact checking and all that, which also shows your incredible value because you know this stuff. You have
I'm
the
learning.
expertise. Well, and you've got the expertise on the area that you work in. So it just even, I think, highlights that for people. If they, get a chance to talk to you, they realize, wow, you really know your stuff.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I could share it, and hopefully this helps some other people as well.
I'm
There's
sure it
there's good
will.
resources out there.
Yeah, there really are. So thank you very much.